of my face. Yes. All right. What is up, my frequent followers? How are you? It's good to see you again. All right. Just finished another 36-hour shift, and we are here to do my No Mask, No Medicine, where we shed that dang mask and I share my thoughts in honor of my dots. That is AKA my 4 daughters. So my 4 thoughts for dots. So first one, I don't know what I'm doing, but I decided to just, 2020 just let me, I just decided to grow my hair out is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know what I'm doing. All right. So this hair, look at that ducktail I got going. All right. So throughout the history of my short 36-year life, I have put very, very, very little effort into the management of my hair. I'm probably like most men in that realm. But so now that I've got this long hair, I got to worry about combing it out. Shoot, I don't know what, I have no idea how to style it. All right, my whole life it's been like, put a goop or whatever. And you remember LA Looks, that junk? Left your hair like shiny and waxy and basically like a porcupine. Anyways, you put a goop in it and just, and that was it. That was my hairstyle. I remember in 7th grade, I did attempt to do the bowl cut, straight bowl, and then I tried to part it down the middle. And I remember how frustrating it was because my hair just goes straight forward in this like widow's peak kind of look. And so to train it to part down the middle, was, let's see if I can get the Dwight Schrute look going on. In honor of Schrute, maybe I should start combing it out, all right? I can't really do it with my fingers. Oh, there we go. All right, what do you think? Anyways, I don't know what I'm doing. The other day, I tried to blow dry my hair out. That was about as frustrating as anything I've ever experienced because this side got all poofy because I over blow dried it. And I'm trying to complain to my wife, and I said, man, long hair is such a burden. I gotta actually sit there and dry it with my towel when I get out. And it's all like frustrating. And she's, you have no idea. Oh, I was also complaining to her about my, about how I have to actually use a lot of conditioner. And she just shook her head. She's like, you don't even have a clue. Just shush your mouth. So, anyways, I'm going to keep growing it. It's kind of been fun because I've never grown my hair out. So this is the longest. This is historic. This video. This is the longest my hair has ever been in the history of my life. I felt like throughout my life, when I growing up, my dad was not a fan of long hair. And then it seemed like anytime I tried to grow it out or I wanted to grow it out, I had significant points that I needed to feel sharp and confident, like interviews for significant jobs, undergraduate school, medical school interviews, residency interviews, job interviews as a physician, significant meetings for leadership positions that I hold. But I'm kind of in this spot right now that, COVID has kind of given me this shell of secrecy, and I can kind of just work in my ER world. And anyway, so I'm letting it loose. I don't know what y'all think about it. Sometimes I catch glimpses. I'm like, hey, yeah, that looks kind of sharp. I look like I look like an adult instead of a 12-year-old. But then other times I look like Kid Rock and I'm not liking it. So anyways, that's thought for dot number 1. Thought for dot number 2, I wrote them down. Busy shift. All right. So there's a phrase in medicine, and it's called, especially in the primary care world, outpatient care, when you're managing chronic issues, right? And the term is go low and slow. So one of the things I love about emergency medicine is that I get to see the entire gamut of the human spectrum, okay? I get to see chronic disorders and diseases gone bad. I get to see holy crap, feces hitting the rotating fan. I get to see life-threatening injuries. I get to be participating in the most intense, emotional, deep moments in people's lives. I get to deliver babies. I get to participate in huge life altering decisions with families. It is an honor, and I love the complexity of all of it, okay? But I would say the bread and butter of emergency medicine is still primary care. It is still the run-of-the-mill sniffles, stubbed my toe, rolled my ankle, I've been nauseous and vomiting, I have diarrhea, I got a bloody nose, okay? Anyway, so the term low and slow is to start with the simplest, easiest, least invasive treatment option and give it a second to see if it works. Then, if that doesn't work, you escalate it up to the next treatment option, a little more aggressive, maybe a little more in frequency, increased dose, okay? Or you may have to do a little more invasive procedure, like imaging or ultrasound, or start going there, and then it climbs and climbs and escalates from there. Now, typically, I don't really have a soapbox to stand on or care about this at all, because it's human nature that when something goes wrong, you want fixing now. We live in a microwave, Pop-Tart, toaster, oven kind of world, and that's okay. But right now, right now we are exploding at the seams with no room in the hospitals. We got no room at the inn, right? And we have dwindling employee staff because this person gets sick and this person worked with this person, so person has to be quarantined. And then people are working overtime, double time, triple time for coverage, and it is taxing on everybody. This is across the world, okay? Now, if in that scenario you have somebody who has a headache and they come in for the headache, that's fine. We want to see you. We want to take care of you. I want to help you with your headache. But if I ask that individual, how long has this headache been going? Oh, let's make a number, 12 hours, half a day. Have you tried anything? Have you taken a Tylenol? Have you taken an ibuprofen? Have you went for a walk in the fresh air? And the answer is no. And then I would plead that those type of individuals, that they take a breath and they think and say, what can I do to try to alleviate my symptoms that is low and slow? What can I do that is simple that might help me stay out of the ER, to stay out of being exposed to all those COVID patients, from overburdening the healthcare system that is just bonkers right now? So just remember, go low and slow, okay? Our body is amazing, and oftentimes it takes very little to get the relief we need. Most likely we don't need an exorbitant treatment plan and all these tests. Many times I'm treating people's worries and concerns because they have a headache. Man, they go to cancer, stroke, they go to uncle herniation of the cerebellum. I mean, that's what happens. All right, so that's thought for dot number 2. Thought for dot number 3. Okay. I would like to admit, so I've been doing this for 5.5 years now in emergency medicine. And I have never, now I'm going to probably get some backlash for this, but I have never had a Labradoodle attack patient. I've never had a golden retriever attack patient. I've never had anybody come to the ER because of those dog has attacked an individual and has caused significant injury that I need to fix. But I have had unlimited pit bull. And I'm not hating on the breed. And I think that all dogs need love. All my dogs have been shelter adopted. But you kind of have to decide, what is the risk versus reward? That dog, probably 9 times out of 10, never going to have an issue. But if it does have an issue, if it does snap, if there is something that triggers that internal nature and it decides to attack, the level of damage that individual dog can, oh look, a Labrador, a golden retriever. The degree of that injury that it can cause is bonkers because of the breed and because of the strength of the jaw and the size of the teeth. I just said teeth. Anyways, so yeah, pit bulls scare the junk out of me, and I love people that have them, but I probably will never leave my kids alone with a pit bull. And then maybe that's judgmental, but I have seen too many children, cousins, nieces, and yesterday I had a man who has 3 pit bulls, and he says he was just petting one, and no apparent reason this dog attacked him. Now, if it was any other dog, that still can cause injury. I'm not saying other dogs can't, but it is less frequent and it is significantly less severe. This guy had his whole face mangled, his entire right arm destroyed. It was in a meat grinder. He probably had such significant nerve and tendon injury that he will never be able to raise his wrist ever again. Okay. Anyways, that's it. Sorry, pit bull world. I just threw you under the bus. All right, thought for dots number 4. Dementia. That just sucks. Okay. I tell my wife all the time, when my mind starts going and I cross into that border where things get loopy, I am starting to cross out every X Games item I can imagine. Base jumping in Norway, getting to happen. Skydiving. Shoot, I want to do that free fall into the net that gum company put on, where he fell without a parachute and like rotated and fell into. I want to do that, right? And at that point, what is there to lose? Like, I want to get I probably couldn't get my pilot's license if I have evidence of dementia. But I'm doing stuff. I told my wife, it's all happening because, once my mind goes, I'm not. Anyways, so I've had some emotional patients recently, and they are always disheartening. It's always struggling. It's hard. The only comfort that I find is that individual patient, there's only a brief moment when he understands that he's losing his mental capacity. Eventually, it goes to the point where they don't even understand. And so there's some peace in that. But as far as the family members that are taking care of him and has to see that loss, it is destructive. It is, it's so awful. And so the phrase is that you lose them twice. You lose them mentally, then you lose them physically through death. It is awful. So I want to give my shout out, my love, my compassion to anybody who has dementia, family, loved ones, fathers, parents, siblings, spouses, because that is a taxing, heavy, heavy burden that you have to bear. And I'm with it, and I wish the best for you. Keep fighting. It is a sacrifice out of love, and that's it. Because that is the only other reason and why someone would take care of someone for that long. It's because you love them and you have that duty. I wish you all the best. I do. Okay, so this has been No Mask, No Medicine. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. I actually will do another one tomorrow because I got another shift tonight I picked up. So, gotta go. Knuckles, noggin, butterfly getting here. Butterfly flingers? Am I okay? Butterfly flingers. Nobody gets a finger on my butterfly flingers. Oh, Knuckles, noggin, butterfly kisses, squid fingers. My Herbal Essence commercial application.